Every guy I know who women really like knows how to flirt. I used to not know how to flirt, and women viewed me as a boring, friendly guy. I spent the last 4 years studying social skills and learning how to flirt, and in this video, I want to give you some advanced ways to flirt. Some of these things you've probably never heard of before. Some of these things I personally use when I talk to women. And the first one is getting the girl to do something for you. All right, the feminists are going to be really mad at this one, but they do it too. Okay, I'll give you an example of how they do it. So I'm at the bar Thursday night. I know, such a degen. I'm out Thursday night, right? And so a girl drops her sunglasses on the ground. And she's like, "Will you pick up my sunglasses for me?" "No, I'm not picking up your sunglasses for you." I'm like, "Yeah, I got it in a minute, babe. I got you." Another thing she tried to get me to do. She's like, "I'm really thirsty for water. Will you go get me some water?" "No, I'm not getting you some water. Are you kidding me?" "Yeah, I'll get you some water later, no problem. Just in a little bit. Hold on, I'm talking to my friend." All right, so girls do this all the time. If you pay attention, if you stay in a conversation long enough to experience this, they're gonna try to get you to do stuff for them. And really what they're doing, it's sort of like a beta test. It's not really a flirting thing for them. It's not really like an attraction, like trick or technique. But when you do it, it turns into positioning yourself as the leader. Okay, so let me give you an example of how I do this and how I get women to sort of like start following my lead. And they already sort of want to anyways. So let's say like last night I'm at the bar and a girl's like, I'm talking to a girl and finally she's just like, "Oh, I gotta go to my friends. Do you want my number or something?" Like she honestly offered me. And so I'm like, "Yeah, but you have to say pretty please, Joseph. Can I get your number?" And I literally get her to say that to me. Okay, so now she's really falling into my frame, into my world. You could think of it like that. And so she's following me. I'm the leader. I'm getting her to do something. Another example is like, I might get her number and then I might be like, "Okay, so you have to text me," and be like, "Joseph, please text me later. I want to see you." And so I'll get her to say something like that. Once again, great thing to do. Now, the second thing that I want to tell you is a hypothetical situation. So this is where you're creating some fake situation that involves you and the girl to start to get her gears turning and thinking about you and her together. And hypothetical situations are so versatile. There's so many different uses for this, but let me give you an example of how this actually plays out in the field. So let's say I'm talking to a girl and she's like, "Yeah, I really like Florida." I might be like, "You know what? You and we should go to Florida together." And then I'll look down at my imaginary watch and I'll be like, "Tonight. Yeah, you and I should go to Florida tonight. Here, I'll get my car, but you have to promise me you're not gonna be annoying." Okay, so I might add in like a little push there too, so that it's not too simpy. It's not too beta. Because if you're only doing these hypothetical situations where you're planning this like image of you and the girl in this rosy situation, you're always pulling her, pulling her, pulling her towards you, then you're positioning yourself as chasing. And sometimes you want to add in a little bit of a push too with your story. So you're like, "Yeah, we could do that, but honestly, it would end badly. There would just be drama. There would just be fights." But sometimes I will just do just a straight hypothetical situation and it's like super corny and it makes it funny. So for example, I might say something to a girl like, "You know what, you and I'm a shy boy. So what we're gonna have to do is when we go on our first date, there's gonna have to be a chaperone there to watch over us to make sure, I don't want anything weird happening like that. So we'll get our chaperone, then we'll hold hands and we'll skip. Yeah, we'll skip down the road." And so right here, I'm doing something that's so exaggerated, so corny, that it's obviously not true, right? So I'm able to implant ideas of me and the girl together. Some people will call it the we frame. I think that's a great way to say it. So we'll use that. Another great thing, hypothetical situation. Now the next one is called a playful push away. So a lot of guys, when they're flirting or they're into a girl, like I've already mentioned, they only pull the girl towards them. They're only giving validation. They're only giving compliments. They're only giving ideas of him and the girl together. And so it's clear that he's revealing that he really, really likes her, which is kind of incongruent because he probably just met her recently in most situations, right? We're talking about like, okay, you go out to the bar or you go out, I don't know, to the beach or the store or something, right? If you're only pulling her towards you, it's like, wow, this guy like fell in love with me already. What a playful push does is it shows non-neediness. It shows, okay, this guy's actually willing to push me away a little bit in a playful way. That's the key here, guys. You're not doing a playful push away in a way that's like being a dick. Okay, because if the girl senses that you're just like trying to push her buttons, it's going to be a massive turnoff immediately. Okay, so keep that in mind with your vibe. It needs to be playful. Now that we have that said, here's how I might do like a playful push away. And this could be, okay, let's say I say something to a girl like, you know, that's too bad that you're from New York. You know, all New York girls are just trouble. They just cause problems. I feel like you and I, we probably shouldn't talk for that long. I mean, we could be friends. That's another thing I might do. I might friend zone the girl. I might be like, you and I, like, you're cool and all, but we should just be friends. Like, I don't see any romantic spark here. And so what happens, especially when you're doing this to like a very attractive girl who's used to guys just giving her validation over and over, it's like, it sort of like blows their mind a little bit for a second. They can't believe that a guy is actually not fully simping for her based off of her looks. And so what happens when you sort of strip the girl of that validation for that little second with that challenge? Once again, guys, it's a playful challenge. You're not like trying to degrade a girl's self-esteem here. That doesn't actually work, believe it or not. I just don't even want to get into it, really. So that's what you're not trying to do. What you're doing is a playful push, and it sort of strips her of that, oh, I'm the prize. You know, I'm the hot girl, I'm the prize, because you want to be the prize. You're the prize, actually, always. You want to be the leader. You want to put up little obstacles, little pushes in the way, because now what's going to happen is she's going to want your validation again. She's going to be like, oh, I haven't won over this guy yet. That means I actually need to try to win him over, right? So she actually needs to do something. Okay, so another playful push I might do is, you know, you and I, we're probably not going to get along. You know, it's too bad. And this could be completely random. It doesn't have to make sense because this is flirting. You're joking around. It doesn't have to be logical. Like a lot of guys think it needs to be logical. You can say something like, man, it's too bad that you like the color blue because I'm a big color red guy. That sucks. You know, I was actually kind of enjoying meeting you for a second, but now it's over. And notice how I'm saying that right now. Like, you're obviously not going to take that seriously. A lot of guys are worried about that. They're worried about the girl. Oh, what is the girl going to say after that? You just recalibrate after that. You know, if she gets mad, if she gets insecure, you're like, oh, I was just messing with you, baby. Come on. You know, I was just messing with you. And then you recalibrate. You know, you got to stop being so worried about taking these little risks. You got to take more risks. That's the only way to win. Okay, so that's the playful push away. Another thing I might do is I might talk about other girls in front of her. Now, this one you have to be careful with. So, last night I'm talking to a girl who is a plastic surgeon, or she's into like plastic surgery. She does something. And so that's how the conversation topic comes up of like plastic surgery. And I'm like, you know what? I really like girls who have those like big Botox lips. I don't know, something about it. Like, a lot of people say they don't like it. I just love it. Meanwhile, this girl clearly did not have any lip injections done at all. So I'm talking about a girl who's not her at all right in front of her. How do you think she feels in that situation? Especially the hot girl once again. She's like, what? No. So she gets that pang of jealousy. And you know what mystery says is that a girl doesn't know she likes you until she feels the jealousy of thinking about you and another girl. I find that to be true, and it makes a ton of sense. I mean, imagine you and one of your ex-girlfriends, or imagine you and a girl that you're into. Imagine a girl that you're into, like, talking to another guy or talking about another guy in front of you. Once again, a lot of feminists might get mad at this video, but this is something that they all do. They all do this. And a lot of them didn't even need to watch a YouTube video to learn this. They just learn this from their circle, their friends, from the lineage of doing this, okay? So they'll talk about guys right in front of you to see how you react. And so when a girl does this to you, what do? Do you start trying to shoot the guy down? Do you start trying to boost yourself up? No, you just don't care. You show not an ounce of care. You're like, oh, cool, you're talking about that guy. Nice, sounds like a cool guy. Change the subject. Change the subject. Another thing I might do regarding this is I might tell a story involving me and another girl, okay? And this just usually creates that jealousy. All right, so that's another good one. Another good one is misinterpretation. So a girl looks at you in a certain way, or she gives you a certain flirtatious look, and you're like, I see what you're doing. I'm a shy, innocent boy. I'm Amish. Okay, we need to, before you give me that type of look, you're gonna have to meet my parents. Okay, you're gonna have to meet my pastor, because that's not okay. I see what you're doing. Once again, doesn't really have to be much for you to find something to hook onto and then misinterpret it as her hitting on you, being too forward with you. Like, it could be as small as her asking you, like, a bunch of personal questions, and you're like, wow, you really are into me, aren't you? Like, wow, I was thinking we could save this for, like, I don't know, a date or something, but I mean, since you want to know, just go ahead. I'll tell you it all. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to work with me, I have a system that's helped men massively transform their confidence. It's helped them position themselves as the leader, as an attractive communicator in interactions with women, which results in an amazing dating life. If you'd like to book a free call with me, you can click the link below this video, schedule a free call with me, and we'll talk strategy, and I'll see if I can help you.